What are some of the things that you've noticed in people as they cross from one state of being to the next state of being?
I think for a lot of people, it's fear, which is totally normal because it is a huge thing. I think from my own experience, I remember crossing that threshold. So I chose to do a home birth. And I remember being in my house going through this very long birth. And then a couple of days later, I think my mother-in-law was there and she wanted to go across the street and get your nails done. And I remember coming out of my apartment building. So I was living on the Upper West Side in New York City and coming out and being like, I look the same, a little bit rugged, a little bit tired, a little greasy, but for the most part, I look the same. But inside, does everyone know what I just did?
Mm-hmm.
I just went through this massive ordeal and transformation, and I have a baby, and my body is a wreck, and I'm tired. Does anyone know what I just did? And yet I looked more or less the same. So that's something I think about when my students come back, that this huge transition happens internally that a lot of people may not recognize. And I think that transition is a lot about not just the ordeal of giving birth, but that new role, as well as a little bit of a mourning of a loss of the freedom before having a child. Like getting out of the house, the newborn is not just throw your shoes on, grab the keys, let's go. Like it is a whole lifestyle change. And I think there's that transition of a freedom, carefreeness to the responsibility. And it's a lot of internal work. I think how one sees themselves changes. Maybe somebody left a job that they really felt respected at and proud of, and they're now in a different role, and that role can feel very challenging. Having a newborn is like completely giving up any control. Like you think you have control, but you don't. So yeah, I think it's just a transition internally that is not always seen from the outside.
For some reason, the word authenticity is coming up for me.
Oh, I like that.
And authenticity is where the outsides meet the insides, the two match. And these days we're encouraged to be our most authentic selves, to show up and say, this is who I am, and really make sure that you're broadcasting externally the person you are inside. And I think that's an amazing movement, but it can be really confusing when you've crossed this threshold and all of a sudden your outside, as you said, is the same and your inside's totally reorganized. And suddenly there's like an authenticity crisis. Who am I? How am I showing up? Why are you reacting to me as though I'm the same person? I am not the same person. And I think I felt that authenticity confusion probably for the first year, maybe a little bit more of my son's life. Okay, I am not who I was, but I am who I am. Or was, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's the who am I? I think that happens a lot. Who am I? What are my priorities? What are my roles? I think, and there's a word, it's called matrescence, going from that mate into motherhood, using kind of gender terms there. But like you said, it's a huge transformation. But I like your understanding of authenticity. That really resonates with me.
I really hope you loved this Stork'd Munchkin episode. This is a small taste of the full episode. If you loved this as much as I hope you did, please take a listen wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can find it on the Stork'd website at storkedpodcast.com. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter, Let's Start a Family, on Substack.